Hello everyone, this is Gary from iFull Test channel. Let's learn together to become a full stack tester. In this video, I'm going to detail the API, add a listing to your watch list, and how to script the corresponding testing script. Let's start. The API means add a listing to the authenticated user's watch list. The key request fields are as below. This API's HTTP method is POST, and it needs authentication. The request field listing ID means the ID of the listings to add to the watch list. From this field, we can infer this request needs to correlate with the upstream transaction like retrieve closing soon listings to get an item's listing ID that we want to add to the watch list. And also, we can use a downstream transaction, retrieve your watch list, to check whether items have been added to the watch list after we run our main API. So the basic logic: retrieve, add, check. The key response fields are like below. This is the example request and response. Let's do the scripting work. See, the request is as below. But before we send the request, we need to assemble the API retrieve closing soon listing as pre-request to fetch enough items on the closing soon listings. In this case, I fetch all the items on the first page of the closing soon listings. Look at the code. First, assemble the header and body of the pre-request. Includes authentication related information. Then we send the request and get a response. Second, traverse all the items from the response. Third, we could randomly get one item's listing ID and set it to the environmental variable. Then our main API could directly get the value of this environment variable. To set authentication to our main API, and how to get authentication related fields, you could refer to the first video of this series. The final step is to code the POST request. Retrieve your watch list. On the test label. We want to check whether our newly added item is on the watch list. Look at the code. First, assemble the request. Include authentication related information. And send the request. Second, traverse the response field listing ID. When we found our newly added listing ID, we mark this transaction as passed. Otherwise, we mark it as failed. We could check the initial status from the TradeMe front-end UI side before we send the chained requests. See, we have one item on the watch list. Let us send the request and check from the test results and console log. See, we have two assertions. One is from the pull request script to get all the closing soon listing ID. Another is from the post request to check whether the newly added listing existed on the watch list. Get the whole testing process from the console log will be more detailed and easy to understand. First, we fetch 250 items from the response of the pull request, retrieve closing soon listings, and randomly set one item, the listing ID, to the environmental variable and transfer it to our main request. Second, to send the main request. Third, to fetch all items on the watch list by sending the post request. And to check check whether our newly added listing ID existed on the watch list. See, we get the given listing ID, so our transaction was marked as passed. Continue to enhance the script, such as parameterization, and extend negative test cases to cover as much as possible the business scope. Then we could further involve our previous script, remove a listing from your watch list to make the watch list related process more complete transaction combinations. How to code the script? Please refer to my previous video. See, we have two items on the watch list initially. Run a script to remove all the items. Refresh. See, we have deleted all the existing items on the watch list. Then we add a new item to the watch list. Refresh. See, we made it. Till now, we have gone through the API details, so let me wrap up this video. We use one script to involve three APIs. The first API retrieve closing soon listing ID listings as the prerequisite to transfer one dynamic listing ID to our main API. Send our main API, then use the third API, retrieve your watch list as the post request to check whether our newly added listing ID existed on the watch list. Continue to enhance the script. Finally, to further involve all the watch list related transactions to make these transaction combinations a closed circle for later CI process to run as an automation job. The following video will detail the API retrieve your one items, and this API will be another transaction combinations beginning. If you like this video or series, don't forget to click subscribe. Your encouragement would be my motivation to publish full stack testing related practices continuously. See you next time.